Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my review of the Nike Lebron TR1. So this is LeBron James's brand new trainer, and I didn't know he was gonna get a trainer, but he did. And yeah, this is supposed to be LeBron James's version of the TR1. So this is a trainer and it retails for 130 bucks. If you guys do want to cop it, try to leave in the free link in the description box. Nike just released like this really nice purple colorway, obviously probably for the Lakers. If you do choose to cop this shoe, it does help me out if you buy it through the free link in the description box. And also, by the way, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the socks that I've been wearing in my video. So it is my brand and it's called Younghone. And the story behind it is pretty cool because Younghone is Korean, I'm Korean, and it means soul, but also, you know, soul drop. And the logo is, you know, Younghone, it's Y, but also it has a letter S in it, like the Korean letter S. So for Seoul, which is, it's pretty cool. But yeah, the website is live now and it is available for pre-order, right? So if you do order it, thank you guys so much for all the support. We are doing a very limited run right now because it is my first drop, but it's just a really nice, comfortable, very high quality athleisure sock. So you can play basketball in it, but it's not basketball specific. That will be coming soon, but it's just a really nice casual sock that you can also work out in as well. So I'll try to leave a link to that as well in the description box. It will take a couple of weeks to actually receive, so it will be a little bit slow because it is my first drop. But as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. But let's get started off with the Traction. So in this colorway, we have a Volt colored rubber outsole, and we have a good amount of flex screws here in the forefoot, right? So we have 3 to be exact. And a trainer is supposed to be a very versatile shoe, right? So it's just a shoe that you train in. So it has a lot of purposes. So if you want to work out in it, right? If you want to do yoga in it, that's what it says on the Nike website. I was like, what is a trainer? And they said yoga, you can work out, you can do HIIT training, right? High intensity interval training. You can run in it, you know, but it's not specifically a running shoe. It's just for like a short amount of running. It says you can even play basketball in it, which is weird, you know, but it's just a shoe that you can train in. You want something low to the ground. Also, you can weightlift in it as well, like doing squats. Yeah, it's not a specific shoe for any of those things, but it's just an overall training shoe that'll be good for all those purposes, right? So yeah, we have a rubber outsole and it has pretty good grip, right? In a training shoe, of course, you do want pretty good grip. I mean, I did use these on the turf as well. I didn't really have any huge issues. If you're doing crazy lateral movements and stuff like that. But if you are like training on like a smoother, slicker surface, then you are gonna slide a little bit, right? Like I was playing basketball a little bit in these just to try them out, and it doesn't have the best bite. But obviously that's not a huge issue. You know, you don't need amazing traction for a training shoe, but I feel like you still kind of need traction. So, I mean, whatever purpose you're gonna be using the shoe for, if you do need great traction, then obviously this isn't the best, but it has pretty good grip. As far as the durability goes, however, I don't know. If you're gonna be using this on an outdoor court, the rubber is pretty thin. It's also like it's kind of soft as well. So I don't know how durable it would be on an outdoor court or an outdoor like harder surface. So take that with a grain of salt. Just be careful with that. But also you want a shoe that's low to the ground, and also a shoe that has kind of like like the free runs, a shoe that has a really good flexible sole, which is going to be good for training your feet, you know what I mean? So usually basketball shoes have like a plate, right? And if it's full length, it's a very, very stiff sole right underneath your foot, and you're getting too much support in your feet, right? But with shoes like these, obviously this is not a barefoot shoe, but it kind of acts like one because it lets you have the shoe move with the movement of your foot very, very well, right? Obviously with these flex screws, and also with the absence of a mid-foot shank plate, which is a good thing, right? So yeah, overall heel to toe transition is very smooth. We have a nice rounded shape. The overall midsole is fully exposed as well, and it's really, really soft. So here in the heel, it feels super smooth, and coming into the forefoot, we have a very nice curve shape, and the overall flex of the entire forefoot and sole of the shoe is really, really flexible. So there's that. Moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is super duper nice. So for a training shoe, you want a little bit of cushion, right? If you're doing high impact, right? If you're doing like plyometrics and stuff like that, jumping with weights even, you want a little bit of impact protection, you know what I mean? So the overall court feel is actually pretty good, especially in the forefoot. You are pretty dang low to the ground, so you do have pretty good court feel. But also they don't specify what foam they're using, but it just says foam midsole, but it actually has a little bit of compression here in the heel, which does feel nice. That'll be better for heel strikes and overall harder impacts and impact protection, of course. But also another thing that I really like about the shoe is the step and comfort, right? So first of all, the insole is just a regular Ortholite insole, nothing amazing, right? But underneath that, it is using a traditional strobe board, right? You can see the material that they're using. It is pretty glued down on the edge, right? But in the middle of the strobe board, pretty much the entire footbed, it's clear. You know what I mean? It's basically just the foam, and when you press it, it's extremely soft, and there's a good amount of give to it, especially in the heel. And the forefoot gets a little bit more dead because the foam is thinner there, but the heel is really nice, right? So the underfoot cushion and also the step and comfort in the heel is super duper nice. The forefoot gets a little bit stiffer, but still pretty dang nice. So yeah, when you're doing heel strikes, you can definitely feel your heel dig into the foam. So the overall impact protection, even on heel strikes, like harder impacts, is really, really good. So I think the cushioning setup is really nice for a variety of things. It's a really nice overall cushioning setup. Obviously, if you're just looking for something crazy, you're not gonna get it here, which makes sense, right? Because even if you're working out in this shoe and doing like really heavy squats, you want a shoe that's more stable. You don't want a shoe that's super soft for the cushion, obviously. And also, if you're training, you don't want too much impact protection either, because you want your feet to absorb the impact. You want your feet and your legs to get used to or like trained to handle impact and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like the cushioning setup, especially for most of the purposes that I was using it for. And now moving on to the upper. So the upper is actually a pretty nice like knit material, right? And we have two colors on this upper. We have this darker gray and a lighter gray. And obviously on this entire lateral side of the shoe, we have this swoosh as well as the foam midsole coming up, wrapping around the entire lateral part of the shoe with this kind of like waffle pattern on it, right? And now on the medial side, we have like a nice, a different type of knit material, or like a textile material that's stitched onto this knit material. But yeah, and also we have a little bit of fuse at the edge of the toe. But yeah, it's really, really thin, but also pretty dang supportive. It's not the most supportive feeling material, but it's like on top of your foot, and it has a good amount of support while still feeling thin, has pretty good airflow, and it conforms to your foot very well. And also there's no pinching from the foam. The foam is actually really soft, you know what I mean? So I really like the material here in the toe box. Also, this is a one booty upper, so there is no tongue, and we also have flywire cables acting as the eyelets. I don't know why Nike doesn't call it flywire, they just call it cables, sadly. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's basically flywire. We have it for all four eyelets on both the lateral and medial side of the shoe. It comes into the side of the shoe, giving you better support. And then for the tongue, like on top of your foot, I mean, there is no tongue, but like on top of your foot, there's pretty much zero padding. And then in the ankle area, we have very minimal padding as well. But yeah, also this shoe is extremely easy to slide on. And even at first, like sometimes shoes are really, really hard to put on, and then you break it in, and then the knit, like the material stretches out a little bit and gets a little bit easier. But even at first, this shoe is really easy to put on. So you don't really have to worry about the one booty upper being annoying or anything like that. You don't need to break it in. It's easy to slide on even at first. And overall, I really like the material. The material quality, even for 130 bucks, is pretty dang nice. Especially, you know, like the KD16 for like 160 bucks with that mesh material is pretty trash, you know. But this one for 130 bucks, I really like it, right? So the material is very, very nice. And moving on to the fit. So I went true to size, and this shoe fits me perfectly, right? Maybe there's a tiny bit of length, you know, but for the overall fit, it's actually very, very nice for me, right? And then also here in the toe box, it is pretty snug. However, there is a little bit of give to it, a little bit of forgiveness. So it's not like, even if it was too snug for me, it still stretches just a tiny bit, which I do like. And then also width-wise, I would say it's around normal with a slightly narrow. I can feel this part squeezing the side of my foot just a tiny bit. But it's not that bad, right? So going true to size was really nice for me, and for most people, I feel like if you're gonna be training and working out in this shoe, you should be fine going true to size for a nice snug fit, right? If you're gonna be wearing this shoe casually and just like, you know, just going out or whatever, and just using this shoe as just like a beater or like walking around, maybe go up half a size because it is a little bit snug. So there is the fit there. Moving on to the support in lockdowns. So if you're gonna be doing like HIIT training or like doing turf work and stuff like that, and you're doing crazy lateral movements, you should be covered. You know, we have a lot of the foam, like pretty much covering you the entire shoe right here in the forefoot, midfoot, and heel. So yeah, your foot is not coming out of the footbed. Although this foam is like on the softer side of things, it doesn't really like go out like this, you know what I mean? So I felt laterally secure, laterally supported. Overall, also this shoe has a wide base as well, so I didn't feel laterally unstable. And also you are low to the ground, like the court feel is good. So overall lateral stability is good, and I had no issues with heel slippage or anything like that, even though it is a one booty upper. So overall support and lockdown is really good. I mean, I would argue that this knit material isn't the most supportive material, however. So if you are a bigger dude and you want a really supportive training shoe, then this obviously isn't the best option. But for most people, I feel like you should be fine, especially if you're just gonna be working out in or something like that, you know? There is the support and lockdown there. Moving on to the weight of the shoe, I feel like this shoe's gonna be pretty lightweight, right? Around 10, 11 ounces, I think. Yeah, 9.85 ounces. That's pretty dang light. That's actually very light. 9.95 ounces. So the average weight of my hoop shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So yeah, that is extremely light, and it feels extremely light and also very minimal. There's no padding or foam on the upper. You feel low to the ground, nothing's really protruding out or anything. So it's a really nice feeling shoe. It almost feels like a free runner. You know what I mean? It's just really, really minimal, but has more cushion than the free runner, which of course is needed for training. So that's actually kind of what it reminds me of a little bit, you know what I mean? And also aesthetically, this shoe looks pretty good, you know what I mean? Not a huge fan of the combination of like the colors, right? The black, the volt, the light gray, mid gray, but I do like the overall design, you know what I mean? Especially the purple colorway. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, this is an overall really nice training shoe, and I feel like it serves its purpose really well for being good at most things, right? I don't think it's excellent for everything. I mean, you can't really be excellent at everything, right? But for the purpose of this shoe being a trainer, I feel like it has a really good purpose for most things, right? Especially if you're just at the gym, you just want a really nice, comfortable shoe that feels comfortable and minimal, but also adds a little bit of cushion, especially if you're doing like, you know, plyo, hit training and stuff like that. You also need a little bit of support, lateral containment. This is a really nice shoe, right? 130 bucks. Also, I feel like it's a pretty good price. But there are cheaper trainers out there. Obviously, they slapped on LeBron's name and made it a little bit more expensive, but overall, it's a really nice training shoe, and I had a good time wearing it. So anyways, that about concludes my review of the Lebron TR1. Again, if you guys do want to cop a, try leaving a affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.